When clients come to me saying that they feel stuck and they're manifesting, that nothing is happening for them, I ask them one question. Have you seen any of these signs? Because manifesting doesn't happen in big waves and big leaps. It's the quiet, subtle movements that show me and show them that truly their manifestation is on its way. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing those 5 unusual but powerful signs. If you're new here, I'm Hanson. I'm the founder of Manifestation Pulse. And over the last 5 years, I've helped over 200 people transform their identity to their highest self. The version of them who attracts everything they want: new love, new career, more money, more abundance, by default, through the Pulse method. Here's the problem overall, and why, before we get into the science, that people expect their manifestations to come in a big wave. You see, we have all been programmed with this idea that seeing is believing. So we have to see evidence of something before we believe it. So even think about back to your childhood tests. Apparently you had to see the result before you believed it. Or if you ever broke your arm, seeing the scan before you truly believe it. But manifesting doesn't work that way. Manifesting works on 3 different states of consciousness. And your 3D is the last place you'll see it. So let's go over that right now. Your 3D is your physical reality. It's everything that you can currently see, taste, touch. It's your real world. But it's also driven by your conscious mind. It's driven by a motor engine in your brain that keeps you on repeated thoughts, repeated patterns, and repeated proof of needing to see certain things. But your 3D is the last place that you'll see your manifestation come to life. Why? Because you have to have already held it in the 5D and the 4D in order to experience it in the 3D. Which is why when we do what we do around identity transformation, you will not see all the evidence until you have become the person first. Only when you've become it, only when it is already yours, will you see it in your physical world. The 4D, otherwise known as the bridge or the awakening, think of that one as the dream state. So it's where your intuition starts to really take over and starts to evolve and move you up a level where you can feel things and be conscious of things beyond your 3D. And it's the bridge to the 5D. And your 5D has different explanations, but I often think about the 5D as a kind of unity of you and your higher self. It is this sense of being centered completely on who you are and your ultimate state of love, of peace, enlightenment. It is very much all the power of your subconscious coming to life. That is the first place that your manifestation needs to work in, because without that phase, without that 5D encompassing the new you, you can't see it in the 4 or the 3. And it's why the signs are so subtle, because they won't announce themselves as a powerful big shift. They announce themselves as a quiet knowing, as a sense that you've had a feeling of embodiment that you've never had before. They're not big, powerful shifts. They're not you suddenly getting $10 million. They're not you suddenly getting the love of your life. Those in many ways are the last phases. But these are the powerful shifts that show me and my clients that you are truly manifesting at a higher level. So with that in mind, let's go over the 5 unusual but powerful signs that your manifestation is on its way. Sign 1. You stop needing to talk about it. Now this one surprises a lot of people, particularly my clients at first, because when you first start manifesting, you actually can't help but talk about it. Now, whether that's internal or external, to friends, to family, to connections, or it's something that you're trying to bring to life in your mind internally, there is a constant need to talk about it. Why? because it helps us validate it. And if we can talk about it more, we feel that we can validate it more. But what happens is something shifts when real alignment takes place, where you don't need to talk about it anymore. Why? Because you know it's on its way. You know that you've gathered the intel, the behaviors, all the things you need, the routines and habits in your life, where you don't need to talk about it anymore because you've embodied it. And if you want more information on this, click on the link below and download the Pulse model, because it will show you what real embodiment and how to achieve real embodiment really looks like for you. What happens in this phase is this sense of inner silence, and that isn't disappearance of your goals. It's peace, it's alignment, it's unconditional knowing that it is already yours. Sign 2, your old limiting beliefs come back even harder than before. Now this one is a tough one to hear, but we do so much work as part of our manifestation journey on understanding, releasing, and controlling our limiting beliefs. But here's the thing, they will come back in waves like you've never seen before if you're manifesting towards your higher self, the one that has it all. Why? For this, you have to understand how limiting beliefs work. You see, your limiting beliefs are not something you were born with. There's something that's been nurtured within you through your life experience and through how that life experience has been shaped by your brain as safety. Because remember, your brain isn't designed for growth. It isn't designed for happiness. It's simply designed to keep you safe. And somewhere along the line, whether that's a limiting belief that you're not enough, that you'll never be rich enough, that you'll never deserve the love, the life, the career, the dreams that you truly hold to come into your life. And what happens is your brain looks for evidence that supports those limiting beliefs. Why then does it come back louder and harder? Many people think of this as the ultimate test, and it is, but what really happens is that your inner critic starts to really come back. And this is actually because of subconscious clearing. So what's happening is a new you is coming in, and it needs to find space in your subconscious. It needs to take over the space that's currently held by the old you. Think about your subconscious as a RAM system in a computer. Your subconscious can only hold so much. And so your old limiting beliefs at this stage come back because your subconscious is being cleared. And because it's being cleared, what happens is that your brain will root all of those old limiting beliefs back as a final test. And this final test can be hard, really, really hard. Suddenly that inner critic that you hadn't seen for weeks, maybe even months, comes back. You feel like you're never going to get it, even though in reality you're so close. What you have to do at this stage is recognize what's going on. So if you feel a sudden flux, an increase of limiting beliefs coming back, just observe it. Understand how to release it. And if you want to understand that, go look at a previous video. I'll link it in the description below about releasing limiting beliefs. Because this is the crucial stage. This is the juncture. This is where a lot of people fail. Because they believe those beliefs. They react to them. And what happens? Their vibration instantly drops. But not you. You're going to push through. You're going to treat this juncture as your final test and reach your highest self. Sign 3. Your desire starts to feel ordinary. And this one is one that always makes me smile, because when clients first come to me and they have very clear goals about what they want, their dreams that they want to become, and there's an excitement about that. There's a real sense of distance, but that distance and that journey to getting it is quite exciting. But this sign is real proof that it's on its way. And it's that desire suddenly doesn't feel as exciting. So if you're someone that wants to manifest a new career, new wealth than ever before, finding the love of your life, At first, it felt exciting. It felt like, oh, there's a journey to go on here. But when you have embodied it, when you've become the identity, it's ordinary. It's not exciting at all. And that's a subtle sign. When I hear clients starting to talk about their goals in a way that is everyday speak, it's because their subconscious has cleared. And there's a real knowing that it is already yours. And what happens here is things start to feel ordinary. It's not forced, not wishful, just normal. And it's what Neville Goddard best described as living in the end. This is living in the end. Living in the end for a lot of people feels like you're in the mansion, waking up with your dream partner, driving a sports car, booking a holiday. And it can and it will be all those things. But first it needs to feel ordinary. Because that life for you isn't extraordinary. At your very highest self, it's ordinary. That is your life. So why would it feel extraordinary? This is a really, really powerful one. And it's how you hold it first. In your mind, in your body, before you see it in your 3D. Okay, before we get into signs 4 and 5, I want to tell you about the Pulse method. This is our proprietary framework where we've helped over 200 clients over the last 5 years bring their desires to life by transforming their identity, becoming the person who attracts it in by default. And in the Pulse method, you'll learn, firstly, how to understand your patterns that have got you to where you've got to, how to release them, how to understand who you truly want to be, not just the version who you think you should, how to lift into that version, how to stabilize your nervous system, and then how to truly embody. And it's available to you for free in the link below. I'll link it in the description and in the comments. Check it out because there's a free assessment of where exactly you're stuck and what you need to do to push forward to your highest self. And when you reach this state, you will see your manifestations come in at lightning speed. Not because the world suddenly reorganized itself around you, no, but because you have finally understood the energy that brings everything in for you by default. Sign 4. You feel genuinely unbothered about the timeline. You see, when clients first start working with me, they have a very specific timeline. I want to manifest X by Y. I want to manifest a new job by next year. I want to have my perfect partner, my perfect wedding within 3 years. I want a new car within 6 months. Not only are those things, but they're predicated by timelines. And what timelines do is they give you a very specific lens and actually indirectly an anchor of lack. Because what you're really saying to the universe and to yourself is, unless I get that thing in that time, I would have failed. Not truly understanding the energy of that dream. And that's where most of coaching work really lies, understanding the difference between the things that you want and how to really become the person who already has it. And that's deep work. But when you feel genuinely unbothered about the timeline, it's because you've already embraced the energy. You already carry that energy. The timeline doesn't matter to you. Whether that happens sooner or later, it's about the energy you carry. So this is really about surrender. You see, there's a difference between not caring from the timeline and giving up. It's not giving up. This is not about letting go of your dream. This is about surrendering to the universe, surrendering because you know and you have embodied that identity. That's so, so key. Let me say that again. This is genuine surrender. It's not resignation. And it's one of the most powerful states you can enter in manifestation. It is actually your very highest vibration. because it's the moment you stop broadcasting lack and you start broadcasting true abundance. Sign 5, and this is the one I really want you to pay attention to. Small, unrelated things start to stack up. This one is really easy to dismiss, and so that's why I want you to really pay attention to it. When you are manifesting, what you see is that very small, subtle signs, things, occurrences are starting to happen. So what does that look like? It could be as simple as someone smiling at you on the train, where you'd usually see lots of grumpy, sad faces. It can be as simple as a compliment coming out of nowhere. It can be as simple as an offer, or a very subtle one. Maybe it's money off something. Maybe it's the opportunity to go somewhere, landing on your lap, seemingly out of nowhere. And most people think, that's nice, but that's not what I'm looking for, without realizing the truth. And the truth is, your higher self and the universe around you is recalibrating. And these small signs are the things that you need to notice, because what you're doing when you're noticing it is you're reprogramming your reticular activating system and your default mode network to a place to look for more of these things. And you're saying to your subconscious, this is the new me. It's okay to get these things. And it's almost like building up your manifestation muscle memory. Because what you're saying here is, once you've achieved these small things, your DMN and your RAS is ready to look out for the much bigger things. So don't dismiss the little signs of fact. Celebrate them. Take your journal, notice them, look out for 2, 3 a day if you can. Write about it, celebrate it, make it normal. So there you have it, the 5 unusual signs that your manifestation is on its way, and to not give up, and to truly surrender to the energy of yours. If you're interested in this video and more that's going to come soon, please like, subscribe, and share for more. And if you have any questions, let us know in the comments. We personally look and reply to every single one. Have a fantastic and high vibe day ahead.